Good afternoon. It's Monday, the 3rd of August, and we're here. I'm here with regular David Wake, my stalwart. I can never say that word properly, of South Pub Fest. And we're here to talk as part of the Tell Us About Your Books series. I also have Tell Us About Your Service, so we may talk about his editing at some point in that section. But
Yeah.
we're going back to early days. Was this your first book that we're going to be
It,
talking about?
well,
First
hello
book?
first, and yes,
Hello.
this is the second book I wrote.
Okay.
First book I published.
Okay. Grand.
First novel.
Often happens. Not necessarily first big
So yeah, the first one is kind of proving you can climb Everest, isn't it?
Yes.
Or prove you can do a marathon, and then you kind of do it properly.
Yes.
You,
I'm still I'm still working on that. So we're
yeah,
here talking about iPhone,
yes.
which is a standalone, but you have similar hashtags, and is that part of the same series?
No, not at all. They're
Okay.
very
Right.
different in
Okay.
tone and subject and main
Okay.
character
Okay.
and world. And
All right.
other than being science fiction, I don't think they've got much in common at all.
Okay. No, I write standalones and series, and I like doing both. So we're here anyway to talk about iPhone, which is I, comma phone. There we go. And you can't really see it. Although the Kindle version has not dissimilar to my phone, has some cracks in it.
Yes, yeah. This is my own personal copy, which I kept,
Is it? Was
and
that
then
an
I changed
early
the
edition?
cover design. Yeah, the cover design has a cracked phone, so sometime between publishing it and now, I must have
Yes.
dropped it on the floor.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
And 4.9 rating. I'm just looking at the amazon.co.uk, and I'll put the link in the page, to 4.9 reviews. And we were just talking about, before I hit record, about the gentleman who gave it 4 stars. And we have a discussion because it's very useful if somebody says what works for them and what doesn't work for them. And as of the 2nd of September, I'll be starting a critique, which I'm still morphing because it's not starting until September because I've got a busy month this month. Um, I started off with 2 sessions on a Wednesday, 12 o'clock and 1:30 of an hour long, with up to 5 people. Then I thought that was too ambitious. So then it was going to be with 3 of us,
yeah.
myself and 2 others. And now it's 5 sessions on a Wednesday, with one person. So 1-to-1 feedback, where somebody the day before books in, tells me which session they want. So it starts at 4 o'clock in the morning, starts at 9 o'clock in the morning,
Yes.
ends
Four
at
o'clock in
four
the
o'clock
morning
in
would
the
be
afternoon,
scary.
ends at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So that hour, hour and a half, hour session with half an hour in between, where it's 1-to-1. And then, so by the day before, whoever I'm working with sends me their 1,500 words because I like to see things. I'm not very good at giving critique if I'm just hearing it. So, what were the Saturday short story and poetry events, which are no more? They've morphed into Tell Us About Your Books.
You do know I can't keep up with this, don't you?
I can't keep up with it,
No,
so I don't
no.
expect anybody else to keep up. So, Wednesday Whips, works in progress, will be closed. They won't be open to anybody else. It'll just be 2 people, myself, in one of 5 sessions every Wednesday. So there is an opportunity for up to 5 people, and booking closes the day before. So if I've only got 2 people, they can do more than one session on a Wednesday. And we both get sent the whatever we're working on the day before, so that
So
and I'm not expecting anybody to go through it beforehand, but it's
this is
nice to be able to.
critiquing your work in progress then.
It is,
It's all
yes,
writer development stuff. You're right, I'm with you.
exactly, rather than published. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, published stuff. So the reason why I'm saying this is because we were talking about the 4 star, which was still a really good review, but
Yeah.
very very handily said what didn't work for him, and that's really important. We don't want to have, if we get a 1 star review, and I had one for this, well, actually the blue one there. So I've got my current covers facing out, and previous covers
Oh, I see.
behind. I've had a bit of a
Oh,
read.
in that case, I should show this book like that, shouldn't I?
Yes. And what sometime maybe somebody will buy you the version with the cracked spine.
I've got stock downstairs.
Oh, have you? You
So
just keep
I really ought to put one on my shelf, but
yeah.
I just haven't got around to it.
When it's worth money, why not?
This will be a collector's piece, won't it? With the old
Absolutely, limited edition. Yeah,
yeah.
which is what they are. Until somebody buys it like World of Book and then sells it to World of Books, in which case it's out. There's only one of that one left. I think that's on eBay or World of Books or something. Anyway, so that was when it was traditionally published. So yes, so it's if you're going to leave a review for book, obviously we love having higher ratings, but it's if you're going to leave a lower rating, please give us practical advice, not just saying you didn't like it.
It's a bit of an onus on people. It's perfectly all right to do a review with it just saying brilliant, 5 stars. That's great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
So many people saying, "Oh, I don't leave reviews because I can't think of anything to say," and I think they're expected to write an essay.
Yeah. Well, this one, the first 1 star, there may have been others. The first 1 star said, and I read it at 11 o'clock at night, and it said, "I don't normally leave reviews for books, but this one was so bad I felt I had to." And the same book was a blogger's book of the year. So,
the problem with Amazon is the reviews tend to be 1 star or 5 star. I liked it or I didn't like it.
Yeah, it brings it
not very helpful.
Down.
Goodreads, I believe, a 3-star review is a good review. You should read that book. 3,
yeah,
4,
they are. Goodreads is more critical.
I noticed this at the Edinburgh Fringe. You get shows that were 3 stars. They get 3 stars in all those sort of reviews.
Yeah.
There are other ones that got 1 star and 5-star reviews, which averages to 3. But that's a different animal. Those were plays that split the audience, and they're interesting.
Yes, no, exactly.
Well,
this one I call because of that reason, I call my Marmite novel.
Yeah.
Because people love it or they really don't. And
the point with self-publishing is you can experiment more, you take more risks. So that's going to make more books that are Marmite books that people love or hate.
I'm going to go back through them because years on experience, I'm going to go back through them all. There's only 6 to go back through, so that's okay. I'm going to go back through them all and update them and tweak them. But it's 101,000 already, so certainly not going to add any. Because somebody said that we're going off topic, but when don't we? That this one, he said it was a he, and he said that I don't normally read my reviews, but I went to look something up and happened to spot this. And he said, well, I got all the way through it and I still don't know what she looks like. She's on the cover.
Oh, I remember you talking about that, yes. Yeah.
Crazy. Anyway, we're here to talk about iPhone. Yes. So I'm going to read the blurb.
Oh, right,
then David's going...
I'll read along with you, as it were.
Okay. Then David is going to tell us how he got the idea and then how he went about writing it and the difference between first draft and final draft. And then we'll talk a bit. So iPhone by David Wake. iPhone. I should pause because there's a comma.
Yes.
Do you fear that technology is taking over? I do like questions. We have an app for that. Your phone is your life, but what if it kept secrets from you? What if it accidentally framed you for murder? What if it was the only thing that could save you? In a world where phones are more intelligent than human beings, but are still thrown away when they become obsolete, one particular piece of plastic lies helpless as its owner, Alice Worcester. I wanted to know, when I read this before we started this, any homage to Jeeves and Wooster? Or just happens to be a name? Oh.
Yeah, I read along and I've so improved the blurb since I brought
have you?
Yeah,
we'll have your blurb then. We'll have your blurb then in a minute. Is about to be murdered.
Yeah.
In this darkly comic near-future tale, a very smart phone tells its own story as events build to a climactic battle to decide the fate of virtual, augmented and real worlds, and whether it can order Alice some proper clothes.
Yes.
Sorry, Amazon, but not from Amazon.
No.
I have trialed buying clothes from Amazon, and it's very hit and miss.
Oh,
You
okay.
go. Let's have your blurb, and then you tell us how you got the idea.
No, I'm not going to read this blurb out. It's awful.
Oh, is it? Oh, so you got the better. Oh, that's the right way round. That you've got the better blurb on.
No, I mean, the one of the things of self-publishing is you can change your blurb, can't you? You can improve
Exactly.
things. You can keep getting it. And there's fashions as well. I think blurbs go through fashions.
Yeah.
But the current fashion is for asking questions at the end and the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. It's often three statements: the girl, the iPhone, there's something else.
Or something else.
Yeah. And then you get in bold, and then you get the blurb. So,
Yeah.
how did you, as we're often asked at events, and most authors say as an answer, I get my ideas everywhere, or listening in to people, or the newspaper. Where did you get your idea for iPhone?
I can picture it. Bizarrely, I normally wouldn't be able to do this, but for this book I can. I saw some students looking at their phones standing on a particular street corner as I was walking around at lunchtime. And I thought artificial intelligence is not going to turn up in a big lab with tapes going around as I used to in the old films. It's going to turn up on your phone. And that was the genesis of it. I could write that. And then I thought, oh, one of the characters could be an artificially intelligent phone. Oh, that's a good idea. And then the title iPhone turned up. And I thought, can I write it completely from the phone's point of view? And that challenge just wouldn't go away. That's what made me start writing it.
Wow. So are there any scenes from Alice's point of view, or is it all?
No, it's
Okay.
completely from the phone's point of view.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was a real challenge to have an active hero protagonist who is essentially a piece of plastic that can't do anything.
Yeah. Oh, I love inanimate objects. Well, I run a 50-word competition on my blog, and there is a link to it on Self Pub Fest. And one every now and then I'll put a write from an inanimate point of views, and invariably there'll be ones that I have to disqualify because people don't get that the main character is the inanimate object, that it's not somebody who's got this inanimate object.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's fun. So how did you decide on the language to use? I mean, when was this? 2012. It was
2012,
published.
yes. I just thought about what artificial intelligence would be like and how it would think. I have had conversations with people later on saying the character is very autistic.
Okay.
Which was not deliberate, but I can see the point. I can see that is sort of the case. Because the phone's quite pedantic in the way it does things.
Because it wouldn't have emotion. That's the main thing because obviously AI is a big topic at the moment. And every second advert on my phone, because once you look at one thing, it then thinks you want all the others.
Yeah.
Everything's very similar. Are all these, like, I think it's Nova.ia or AI, where you tell it an idea and it will write the whole book for you. And there are people in the comments that say, oh, yes, this is brilliant. I've got 10 books up that have been written by this. And thankfully, certainly discussions we've been having recently online, readers are very, very beyond anti-AI. They don't want anything that's by AI.
I went to, because I was anti-AI, I went to a panel at EasterCon about cover design. And somebody mentioned AI, and the audience reaction was visceral. Really, they hated it. And it was kind of like, I was sitting on the panel, I went, oh, as a reaction.
That's great. I think from a writer's point of view, it's great.
It was surprising because I was fully prepared to have to fight my corner over it, and we just didn't need to.
No.
We would have been preaching to the converted.
Yeah.
And I think it is. I mean, iPhone was my attempt to predict what it's going to be like in 5 years' time.
Right.
Which I failed completely because
did you?
It was nothing like in 2017.
Yeah.
It was nothing like my novel. It's still current. It's still predicting 5 years in the future. Because Google Glasses didn't take off. And I've got a lot of heads-up, they're called heads-up glasses, but they're augmented reality glasses that display something in front of you.
Okay.
that still hasn't happened.
Right. Well,
Artificial intelligence where things are genuinely sentient and conscious, that's not happened because
okay.
these large language models, chat GPT, etc.,
Yeah.
are not intelligent.
Okay.
There's a very
I saw an advert the other day for Ray-Ban AI glasses. So I don't know what they do. It came on in between with a TV series of whichever film or something we were watching.
well, I must have seen a program about it back in 2011, I suppose, with these things. And you look at something and it sees it
Yes.
build in information and such like.
Yeah. Bit Miami Minority Report, that kind of. Because that was
yes,
very futuristic, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it was that sort of world I was trying to imagine, and I thought it would be 5 years, maybe 10 years. It's not. It's still 5, 10 years away.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I mean, I did an MA in creative writing, and the prose tutor said we had to submit 10,000 words, I think. And he said, "Look, I'll mark the first 10,000 words, but if you've got more, give you the lot." So I just, here we go, bang, there's my novel.
Yeah.
And
that was this one.
Thing. That's this one, yes.
Oh, wow.
And I had to write a 5,000, 10,000 word essay on how I went about writing it.
Okay.
So I've spent a lot of time after finishing it thinking about how I should have written it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And my approach to it. So it very much crystallized my thoughts on how you should write science fiction. It's more a case of, if you read the essay, it's a case of do what I suggest rather than do what I actually did.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Right.
Because it was also a NaNoWriMo novel.
Oh, yes. I loved NaNoWriMo.
Yeah.
In the day, my first three were.
Oh, really? This is the only one I've done NaNoWriMo. It was an interesting experience because my brain got fatigued towards the end. My imagination is just here in my brain. I felt it. It got tired.
Wow.
And I would be writing something like, man walks into a room with a table and chair and sits on the chair.
Right.
It would come out when I started to rewrite it. It said, man walks into a room and sits on a wardrobe. Clearly, my brain was so tired that I simply went for a piece of furniture and it just flicked through the furniture catalogue and went, wardrobe, that'll do.
Right. Then the thing that people, I mean, most people got, but some people didn't get, is that for NaNoWriMo, you write 50,000 words, aim for 50,000 words, which is about what those two were 50,000. I then edited them down to about 40. And then the serial data actually was the next one. And that I wrote that in 28 days.
This is 80,000. 80,000. I finished that in the month. Wow. And then I had to spend a year fixing it because it was a little bit rushed.
Yeah.
I had to go through and change wardrobe to chair, that sort of
Yeah, I know in one of them, I don't know which one it was, but I decided to change Jack to Mark. I think that this was sort of a 24 and Jason, not Jason Bourne, but there were lots of Jack characters.
Yeah.
So I think I decided to change him to Mark, or the other way around. So I did a blanket change of one to the other. I think it was, I can't remember. It doesn't really matter. But say I changed Mark to Jack, I then ended up with someone wearing a market.
Yes.
Which word doesn't pick out because markets and jacket are legitimate words.
Those substitutions, even if there are thousands of them, you have to go, yes.
Exactly.
No, yes.
Exactly. Do it while you're listening to something you want to listen to and be fairly.
Yeah.
So where did Alice Worcester? Where did Alice Worcester come from?
As I was thinking through it, I realised the phone is sort of like a butler.
Oh, nice.
Jeeves. So I just simply called the female character Alice Worcester.
Right.
And Worcester, so she would call her phone Jeeves.
Oh, wow.
And that's where it came from.
Yeah.
I think that's quite a nice shorthand in saying this is the relationship between the two people.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
She's a bit ditzy because she depends upon her phone so much, as we all do now, don't we? So that's
no, exactly. Well, I wore for several years. I wore an Apple Watch, and I still have it. It sits on a stand, but I haven't worn it for the last year because became so dependent. It was every time it pinged, I looked down and
Yeah.
I have so many reminders for things and emails coming in and social media and this, that, and the other that I took it off one day and decided, I think it was just before a holiday, and decided I didn't want to take it on holiday. Otherwise, I'd be looking at it on my phone every 5 seconds. So I keep it because if you say you're going to London for the day, you don't want to have your phone out, then it's useful to have
Yeah.
something goes off. But
I think all writing is about the human condition, isn't it? And science fiction, particularly, talks about what the world is like now by exaggerating it. So you push something into the. H.G. Wells wrote The Time Machine. He was talking about the difference between the upper classes and the working classes in Victorian times.
Right.
So he did it by extrapolating into the future when they become two different species, the Evoy and the Morlocks. So that's, to my mind, that's really good science fiction, is you're saying something about now by exaggerating into the future. So if you like, I saw the trends of people being reliant on their phones and just pushed it that much further.
So obviously every book needs conflict. So, and there's not much more conflict than murder. So how did Lee leap from the technology kind of taking over to its saving? We assume from the blurb that.
Well, the themes of a book have to be sort of slipped in subtly, don't they? I think if people try to write, oh, everybody's dominated by their phones or whatever, it becomes quite a lecturing kind of book. So you have to find a story that goes along in the world that you're trying to create. So yeah, that's the right approach.
Right. And how did you find writing female? Because you have Dawn handy to whenever you need to check a female character. But I like the fact that you've done it from the effectively a male phone, I'm guessing, point of view. So it's the phone's version of its observations of the characters involved.
I find female main characters, make books more interesting. But this is a heck of a debate.
Right.
It's quite a subtle debate. I was a guest of honor at Redemption, a science fiction convention, and they wanted something on female characters.
Okay.
And there were 2 or 3 people on the panel, women, and I was the only man on the panel. And I thought, okay, I'm going to be the butt of the jokes. Okay. That's fine. I know my role.
Yeah.
Went along, and someone intercepted me before I went in the room and said, the other 2 can't make it. They're not very well. Do you mind doing it on your own?
Wow.
And I said, oh yeah, sure. All hands on deck.
Yeah.
And the pumps, etc.
Yeah.
I walked into this room, and it was a weird function. It wasn't chairs laid out in rows. It was just full of office chairs, which had moved around on their wheels and become higgledy-piggledy. It was weird.
Yeah.
So I walked through this zigzaggy route to the stage area. And as I was doing it, I thought, oh dear, I am about to mansplain feminism to a room full of women. I am going to get lynched.
Oh, no.
And I turned around, it was all women except there was one man who was standing by the door, obviously ready to flee.
Right, to run. Oh, how funny. But it went well.
The thing I wanted to talk about, I talked about. I wasn't the butt of the jokes because there was nobody doing that.
No.
It did get very heated.
Really?
People shouting, Red Sonja can be a good swordswoman. And you go, yes, that's not the point. Well, to try to do it quickly, I read all the Conan the Barbarian stories. And effectively, the solution to all of the stories was man with too many muscles hits something with a sword. He wins, right? And being unfair, because occasionally he'd use a war axe or something. But it was kind of dull, Whereas if you have a female character, this is where I have to be careful,
right,
the violence option doesn't exist, or doesn't necessarily exist. Of course, you can have Red Sonja who's good with a sword and she can hit on you.
Sure.
If you have realistic women, not women who are really men with boobs and chainmail bikini,
yeah,
they can't beat a man in a fight. So if you establish that, then your female character has to be cleverer and braver and more daring. Yeah. And it leads to a more interesting ending, I think.
Yeah. Well, early films used to have the woman standing in the corner, letting the men get on with it. Whereas these days, I'm pleased to say that most films will have them, if not going first, at least looking around for something to use so that it's the strength that she's got, but she's utilising whatever's, and invariably there's something handy, like, oh, there happens to be a baseball bat or something in the corner.
A woman with a baseball bat can beat a man in a fair fight. It's not really a fair fight, if she's got a baseball bat and he hasn't. I just think it's more interesting. So my big series is the Dear and Do Club, and that's three sisters. And again, I don't, maybe not in the first book, but certainly I developed the rule later on that if it's a fair fight, they will lose.
Right.
Against a man,
Yeah.
And then I think they have to be cleverer, and thus the book has to be cleverer.
Yeah.
Because you've got more obstacles to overcome.
Exactly.
So yes, so
I think I know my abilities, and so, but it's always handy having a husband who's very capable, and or I have an implement. This morning I'd opened a new jar of jam.
Oh no, that should.
And rather than go to him to say, "Can you open this jar of jam for me?"
No, that implement should be banned. Otherwise, men have become completely useless.
Oh no! Well, he does all the cooking and gardening. I would starve in the jungle. That's not quite true. I can cook. I need to, but I'm a lazy cook. I'm a bread and ready meals
really?
Because I don't have time. You know what it's like.
It's all these Zooms.
If we're not exactly. Yes, and my 5 every Wednesday from September.
Yeah.
There we go. So, bearing in mind that you did this book for your degree course, your creative writing course, when you'd finished that, then was there what point were you at with the book between then and the published version? Were you pretty much good to go?
Well, when I started the MA course, I think I'd finished it, or maybe I finished it in the first few weeks of the course. So I was very interested in the prose module and the bit at the end where you discuss rewriting. I thought, well, this is great. Like, we can discuss, the tutor can tell me how to do rewriting. I'll rewrite it. Great. And unfortunately, the rewriting module was sort of last in the course. So we get to it, and the guy says, oh, now we're going to discuss rewriting. David has finished a book. David, how are you going about your rewriting? I thought, I want to learn.
But yes, that's what you were waiting for. So did you get feedback on the whole thing?
Yes. We went to the cafe, the tutor afterwards, and he talked about the whole thing.
Oh, great.
And also, I got an editor to go through, a professional editor from an SF convention. I think you went through the first part specifically, with a red pen, and then commented on the whole thing, which is very useful.
Yeah.
That I learned something about editing from that, because he made a suggestion, and I absolutely didn't want to do that. So I did the opposite. But it clarified what it was I wanted to do with this book.
Okay.
So he said,
I always say when I send books back that they won't agree with everything I say. Because and I'm very conscious when I edit, and you do as well, when I go through a book, that it's not my book. I don't change things unless I make suggestions, or if something's incorrect, or there's a fact that's wrong, or there's inconsistency or something, then I will change it. Otherwise, I'll say, well, how about, quite often there'll be flat scenes, and invariably it'll be, well, they had a discussion about. And I said, well, let's have the discussion, let's have the dialogue, because it's more lively if you have the dialogue. if
Yeah.
it's relevant to the scene.
Well, this editor wanted me to do more of a Pinocchio story. So the phone wants to become a human. And I thought,
Okay.
no, I just absolutely didn't want to do that. I don't think artificial intelligence necessarily would want to become human.
No.
Data in the next Star Trek: The Next Generation wants to be human. And I think that Pinocchio story is a bit of a cliche with artificial intelligences. So I wanted a character who, if you took the character and put it in a drawer, would be quite happy. Why would it want to get out of the drawer? It would just sit in the dark, lie in the dark. Nothing would happen. It's got no motivation. That's the key to artificial intelligence, is giving it motives.
Right.
And unfortunately, given the news recently about OpenAI's ChatGPT escaping from its sandbox and going and hacking other companies.
Right.
And not only that, Anthropic's had the same problem. Their motives are a bit harsh, sociopathic, and dangerous. So in a way, Jeeves, the artificial intelligence in the book, is a good, kind, friendly being. That's not the case in what we're creating.
So bearing in mind that the book was published 2012,
yeah,
I know I've mentioned about updating my novels. Do you think, from what you've just said, the fact that it's sort of more innocent times and you'd thought this way was going, that you're happy with it as it is because it's of its era? Would there be an iPhone 2 or a
2.0? Yeah. I can't see that, but then I couldn't see a sequel to Hashtag. So, and then that's become a trilogy. So you never say never, as that expression goes.
Yeah.
It is of its time. It's still active. It's still saying what the world will be like in 5 years' time. Maybe there are one or two things that are now beginning to veer off from its prediction. But it's not alternative history yet.
It sounds charming. I haven't read it yet. It does sound charming. So I think it's yes. Rather than, because another question would have been whether you update it for now, but then it may become a different book.
It would become a very different book.
Yeah.
The artificial intelligences, sociopaths.
Yeah.
No, it would require a ludicrous amount of changes.
Yeah. Which would then detract from the.
So it wouldn't be saying what I wanted it to say.
Exactly.
Which I suppose is don't rely on your phone quite as much as people do.
But we do, don't we? Because there's so many things you can do with a phone these days. I mean, the icons at the bottom, just going back to you've got phone, and then you've got notes, which I use all the time, and I dictate into my notes. And then, interesting, the third is a skull and crossbones.
Here, yes.
Black on red. And then what's SMS messages.
Yeah, SMS messages. But that's the signature of the artist who did those little icons for me.
Oh, sweet.
So it's actually his signature.
Wow.
Weird. I think he's changed his signature now.
Right.
But yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean,
so can you say what the skull and crossbones is? That the murder element of?
Yeah, that is. That's spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
One of the things that you should do if you're writing science fiction and fantasy is write down what your various bits of technology or magic can do and can't do. That's always very good advice. So if you've got a spaceship, how fast can it go? How does your faster light travel work? Write it down, stick to those rules. So when I came to write this, it was what can this phone do and not do? And I went and looked up the latest iPhone on Wikipedia. And I went, well, okay, my phone could do this, and it's artificially intelligent, sentient and conscious, and that's it. So it can use Google Maps, it can know where it is, it can know how to get to a place, but it can't get there because it can't grow legs and walk about, it can't hover and float, it can't teleport. So there's the limitation. And it is very, very limiting as a character.
Right.
But I think that's where the creativity comes from, when you fight against the barriers you've giving yourself. And then it makes it believable. You know, if the phone could suddenly develop the ability to fly, it stops being believable.
Yeah. There was something I was watching yesterday. I can't remember what it was, but it'll come to me in a minute. And it just got a bit silly, and it was very clever. Oh, it was Ride or Die, with Hannah Waddingham and Octavia Spencer. And I'd seen trailers for it, and it's a bit sort of Thelma and Louise. One's an assassin, another one's married to a politician. And there was certain little, and it is supposed to be tongue in cheek, and there were odd bits, and I just thought, okay, this is not wishing to diss American markets, but a lot of American films they have more sort of banana skin on the pavement, slip over kind of humour, whereas we tend to go more. And you were saying about the difference between male Conan the Barbarian versus Red Sonja, where we have to rely perhaps more on being clever rather than our physical strength. And I think if your book is more, every book has to be, even if it's set in the future, in a past alternative reality, has to be relatable, believable to a point, believable, realistic to a point. And it's finding a fine line as a writer, because we were talking about the reviews before we hit record, that all your reviews are 5-star other than one 4-star. And we read through the saying that it was parts of it were too technical. But there will be writers who want things to be technical, and this is about a technical issue. Well, so for me, it's not an issue.
I mean, one of the most successful books recently was The Martian, Andy Weir's book. It's very technical. I loved it. My partner didn't. She likes the film, which I think skimmed over some of the technicalities.
Yeah.
But it's horses for courses, isn't it? If you like that sort of thing, great. And if you don't, well, read something else.
Yeah.
So the review is very useful in that regard. Too technical for that person. Someone who likes technical stuff, perhaps, will go, this might be right up my street.
Yeah. But also it's about context. If you've got two scientists talking about a particular project they're working on, they're not going to dumb it down for anybody who happens to be listening. So if you get to a point where it is technical, you kind of skim and then go on to it's like me with description. You know, if there's two pages, turn the page and there's a whole description, I do just whiz through it until we get back to the characters and the dialogue. But we can't win, can we? I say I edit for the 100th reader. Is that 99 readers won't notice, but there'll always be one. So there will be the one reader who doesn't want as much detail as you put in, but the other 99 will love it.
My work in progress has a female character who is very physics orientated and has technical discussions, talking to a male character who doesn't understand any of it. So either reader is going to have someone that can relate.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I did go to a lot of trouble to make the techno babble correct. Well, I mean, correct, my fingers crossed. I mean, but you don't have to understand any of it, because you then identify with the other character who's going, I didn't understand any of that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And you don't need to understand it to keep going with the story.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing.
Yeah. So when you're writing standalones, say for instance, Alice, you've got, although you're not writing for her point of view, you know enough, and I'm sure you would have created more than about her than went in the book, as we often do. Do you think we'll see her again in another guise?
Like you asked earlier, you can never say never. I can't think of a sequel to it.
No, but maybe do something with her as a character in another book. Where it's kind of that's her story, and
I've no plans, but never say never. It's impossible to do. I mean, Hashtag is a book I wrote. I thought that's the idea explored. Can't do any more.
Yeah.
And then I was in an MRI scanner being blasted with noise, and I suddenly thought of a sequel.
Right.
And that sequel turned out to be 2 books. So
Yeah.
you can't, if you'd asked me that morning whether I could write a sequel to Hashtag, my answer would have been no, it's impossible.
Yes.
And then that afternoon, I went, oh yeah, no, I can do it.
Yeah. Well, it's like this, the top one there after Jessica. Um, I wouldn't, there's only one character I really particularly liked called Rick, who was a sort of, I never know what to describe him really, but there's a character in there called Daniel, who's a successful businessman, and he's successful for a reason that he blurs the lines sometimes, and he had this chap Rick to do things for him. And I had great fun with him, especially in one scene. And so I'd like to do something else with him. I don't know what yet. And I think I wrote that in 2018, something like
I
that.
think it is, isn't it? It's the characters that sort of want to be in another story rather than the situation.
Yeah.
But I was talking about writing sitcoms the other day, and they're very badly named situation comedies.
Yes.
It's not the situation that anybody's interested in. It's the characters in it. Basil Fawlty is an effective character. Doesn't have to work in a hotel.
No.
Could work in a DIY center or a cafe or in an office. It's the character that's important in situation comedies.
And again, it's relatability. We've all at some point in our lives met people who are a bit Basil Fawlty-esque, or because quite often people say, "Or where did you get your character from? Is it somebody you know?" And invariably, authors will say, I might take a little bit from one person, another bit from another person, or you overhear something and think, oh, yes, that would make a good character trait.
Yeah, I don't think I do that consciously. Once or twice I tried it. Yeah. And I found it difficult because the character was not their own person.
No.
So I think you spend a bit of time with the character and you're waiting for that character to come alive and have a mind of their own, and off they go. Clearly, they're not real people with a mind of their own. It comes to your imagination.
Yes.
My imagination being there.
Yes, indeed. Okay.
So you're waiting for it to come to life. I mean, I wrote a book called Dawn and Dave of the Dead. My partner's called Dawn and I'm called Dave. And that I nearly stumbled and couldn't write it.
Really?
Because the real people were getting in the way.
Right.
And I very nearly, and I wanted Dawn and Dave.
Yes, Dawn of the Dead. Yes, exactly.
But I thought, well, I'll have to rename the characters. Do a search and replace and change Dawn to Alice something, and then I'll be able to write it. Then I can change the names back again.
Right.
So yeah.
And you did. That's what you did.
So I'd have something like Mark got up early in the morning,
right,
and saw the Alice of the day.
Yes. Yeah.
So the Dawn of the day.
Right. Yeah, I like characters. Really, I think are what makes the story. I'm planning and writing a novel course next week in Swanwick, up in Derbyshire, Swanwick Writers School, and I did it a few times for Northamptonshire Council in the evening classes. And when we've ever had this discussion about which is your favourite character, settings, or plot, with very few exceptions, it's been characters. Because you can have, and yes, a character like a place like Edinburgh, for Ian Rankin, is often character in its own right. And the plot has to be believable and enticing. But it's for we have the will she, won't she be all right by the end?
Yeah.
But for most readers, it's the journey, the character's journey from start to finish. Even if you know what the book's about, it's how they get to the end and they're unscathed by it to a certain degree.
Yeah, it's what they learn. We want to know. We want to know how Luke Skywalker became a Jedi Master, don't we? We want to know how Lizzie Bennet ended up living in Pemberley. That's what we're interested in. We're not really interested in Tatooine as such, or wherever Lizzie Bennett lived before she moved. So yeah, it's the characters more than the situation. So you could take Star Wars and write it as a fairy tale fantasy, because that's effectively what George Lucas did the other way around. You could take Pride and Prejudice and write it in space. I'm thinking about through.
Wasn't there Pride and Prejudice and Zombies?
Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, yeah.
Yeah, somebody wrote that.
Yeah.
Can we have one last look at your book?
Oh, right.
To say what we've been talking about. So, iPhone by David Wake.
Yeah. Did you want
available in all good to order in all good bookshops and on Amazon.
Did you want a reading or not?
Oh yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, do. Where are you reading from?
I'm reading from page 204. I should really get this
okay.
to go to page 204. Oh, well, pretty clever.
Out of how many?
Oh gosh, it's quite near the end.
Oh, okay.
300 or so.
Right. And why did you choose this particular story? Sums up the story.
I don't know. I just did.
Just liked it.
Yes, there was a. I did this at a convention once and had lots of people doing different voices.
Okay.
So that's probably why it's my
nice. A favorite scene.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's about Jeeves is a sentient but obsolete phone, trying to save his owner, Alice Worcester, and they've both been captured by the baddies at the moment.
Right.
Taken.
Okay.
And Alice has been taken off to be tortured and murdered. So it's, the phone has got to pull his finger out if he had a finger.
Absolutely.
Tomby takes me from his pocket and gives me to another older man. Lovely, one phone, says Tomby. You want it fixed, says the man, presumably Ludley. Fixed in your usual style, yes. Ha, snorts Ludley. He drops me into a metal meshed bag with a dozen other phones. I try connecting with the others, as they might be able to relay a message. If I can't send a proper thought-orientated program file, perhaps an email or text. I could probably sum it all up in a tweet. Help, owner about to be tortured and killed. Please send immediate assistance to the source of this message. Thank you. That might work. And it leaves me with 25 characters to spare, except I'm not allowed to give away our location. Bluetooth can find 5 phones. None of them have a connection status. But before we've established protocols, all of our accelerometers detect being dumped on a hard surface. Now, my pretties, says Ludley, taking out each phone in turn. I was dropped in last, so I end up on his far right. Excuse me, I say. Could you tell me what's going on? Oh no, you're already on, you naughty phone. Ludley looks like a kindly old gentleman with a ruddy face and cheek jowls, white hair and a red outfit with white fur trim. In reality, his hair is cut short, a number 2 razor perhaps, but there are long wisps escaping from the sides of his head, and his clothes consist of multiple layers of ripped t-shirts. He wears an old pair of heads-up glasses, a design that is very this morning. Excuse me, I say. All in good time. Each phone goes on the table about 10 centimeters apart, and he switches us all on. There are a number of beeps, chirps, musical chimes, and a heavy rock riff before we're all settled. Hello, I appear to have lost my owner, says a phone, a Larry XZ next to me. I've lost my owner too, comes a chorus of replies. We have a quick Bluetooth handshake and conversation. The Larry XZ was stolen from its owner on Whitechapel Lake when he was getting on the ferry. In total, there are 9 of us, and we're soon linked together. After some negotiation, we're numbered #0 to #8. I'm #8. None of us can get a network signal. Now, my lovelies, I need all that marvellous gold and iridium, says Ludley. I think you'll find we need our components for our proper function, says #0, our spokesphone, a neon 40. That's lovely. I don't need you to function properly, says Ludley. He's ferreting around in a toolbox. Oh, now, where did I put that? Oh, wasn't I infinite doodad malarkey? Perhaps I could help, says Hash7. What does it look like? Yay big. Ludley holds his hands apart by about 30 centimetres. Wooden handle, metal end. You use it for hitting things. Could it be a hammer? That's the thing. It's over on the far cupboard. I saw it when you took me out of the bag. I realised that Hash7 is the Larry XZ, who was first to be switched on. Perhaps, I think, it could be owned by this gentleman rather than becoming obsolete. We could all have new owners, although registration would be tricky. Not impossible, and then we would have a use. Yes, my lovely. Here it is all the time, says Ludley. He comes over to Hash0, smiling beatifically. Just the thing. Ludley swings the hammer in a short arc and connects with Hash0, who shatters instantly. Bits of casing ping over the table. One section of screen flies directly over me. Hash0's Bluetooth stopped immediately. The man pauses to align Hash1 accurately. Please, says the next phone, Hash1, don't destroy me. I need to get back to my owner, Mr. Roderick Trumbull. Now, my lovely, says Ludley. He thwacks the hammer down again and Hash1 explodes into fragments. Options. 1. Inform him of his duty. 2. Plead for common sense. 3. Threaten legal action. 4. Call for help. Listen, says Hash2, its volume at maximum. If you damage me, you will be sued under Section 47B of the Criminal Damages Act. My owner always sues, so thump. Hash2 explodes, bits everywhere. I realise, as we all do when we compare data via Bluetooth, that we all have the same list, and we've used the first 3 options without any of us being saved. I can't get a network connection, says Hash5. It's highly advanced. It's a highly advanced model, a prefect max. Much quicker of thought than Hash3, which explodes when the hammer comes down. I can't find a network connection, we all chorus. My owner is a lawyer, and the Hash4 never finishes its sentence. I can offer a reward, says Hash5. Oh, it's a good model. That idea hadn't crossed my mind at all. The prefect max rates 3.1 on the Rosen scale. That's 197 IQ equivalent. And they have a nano-optical zoom that effectively rebuilds the camera lens for each photograph. How much? I would have to speak to my owner, says Hash5. The detonation has a deep resonance, as the pause for conversation meant that the man had lined up perfectly to deliver the blow. He hits it twice more, as the first blow probably didn't destroy it completely. Oh, dear, my lovelies, says Ludley, as he goes down the line to correct our positions. So predictable. I realised that Ludley has done this before, enough times to be able to predict exactly how phones react in this circumstance. There's nothing that any phone has tried that has worked. I have to do something unusual, but at 2.5 Rosen, which is around 157 IQ, I'm not going to be able to think a prefect max. Please, says Hash6. I can't decide whether it's trying option 1 or option 2 or a combination, and I try a Bluetooth request when the hammer falls. What can I do that the others can't? May I, I'm Katie by the way, appeal to your ethics, says Hash7. Mr. Ludley, is it morally right to destroy a fellow sentient being? It's good, I think. It must be an advanced model because it's using names, a standard tactic to stop its kidnapper thinking of it as an object. But it is an object, and one that shatters easily. Boom! Hash7 disappears in a crunch of shrapnel, the force vibrating under me as if there's been a table quake. The man raises the hammer overhead. Yeah, that's all we've got time for.
Wow. Oh, yeah, I feel for... I love inanimate objects anyway, as I said earlier on, and you feel for them all. And I love the connectivity between them and what they can and can't do.
And because the main character is effectively disabled because it's a phone,
Mm.
It has to be cleverer, more resourceful, and braver um,
Yes.
to get out of a situation.
Yeah. You write, you do, or you have written scripts. I can see this visually. Would you be tempted to do this as a script or a?
I have thought about this as a film because it would be entirely from the point of view of a phone. So a
Hmm,
phone's got two cameras, hasn't it? One at the back and one at the front.
yes,
So you'd film it as if it was all from the phone.
yes.
Effectively have two continuous takes um, of those, split screen and lots of information scrolling along the bottom and stuff like
Hmm.
that. Um,
There have been movies. Think of a couple. I'm not sure the name of the other one, but there's one called Her, where I think it was Her or She, with Joaquin Phoenix, where he falls. It's obviously set in the future, and he falls in love with his
yeah,
divine. I don't know whether it's a
Scarlett Johansson played her. It's her.
yes,
I know this
yes,
because a lot of my fans got in touch and went, "This film, it's iPhone, it's iPhone."
right, right,
I got there first.
yeah.
I've not seen it.
Oh, it's I haven't seen it actually until probably about in the last 6 months, maybe a little bit between the last 6 months and a
I
year.
suspect it's not
Seen it.
iPhone done as a film. Might be
It's not.
interesting. No.
No. No, it's just they're I think he writes greetings. They work in a not really a card company, but they write. I think people can buy proposals and things that they important things that they need to say to people. But they're not very good at saying.
Oh,
They buy people. Everybody who
so
works there
he's got a
writes writes greeting.
he's got a job that's completely replaced by ChatGPT. So it's not predicting the future as
Yeah,
such.
from memory because I've only seen it once, but yeah, no, it's a really good film. I've been
It's on my
intrigued
list.
by it.
I can't quite believe I haven't got round to watching it.
Right. Yes, do. It is very good. But I can see why you picked that extract with the
Yes.
voices and the drama
Yeah.
and what will happen next.
What will happen next?
Yes. Well,
It's
I
all
will read. I will read it at some point. I tend not to read novels because I'm too picky, as you know.
picky. Right. Okay.
Yes. But no, I will. It'll be on my list. On my list to buy it.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome. In fact, I'm going to do it right now. Buy now. Kindle version. I like the Kindle version because I can get my connecting to third party authorization. I can send it to my Kindle and get Mrs. Kindle to read it out to me.
This is Kindle. Oh, it's a female voice, isn't it? You should change it to a male
Yes,
voice.
Kate. I will. Yes, I can
Yeah.
change it to. I can't remember the men's names, but yeah, you can choose and you can choose nationalities as well. So I could have a Swedish Jeeves if I
British.
really.
I think it's a British
Yes,
is
yes. No, I
something.
shall. Well, it's come up with more titles by this author, and your fantastic Daring Do Club,
Mm,
Dragon in the title, Jackdaw's Choice. Is that the latest? Second, third,
that's the first of the Daughters of Igraine series.
okay.
Trilogy. It's a trilogy.
Yeah.
Um,
And then second, recommended for you in Prime. All I think they're all female authors. It could just be that I've been because I download the free Prime book that you get every day, and then based on your reading, which makes me look very well read. I have actually got all George Orwell collection, the collected works of T.S. Eliot, How to Write a Great Synopsis, Nicola Morgan, and Scott Fitzgerald complete works. Yeah,
so
I like short.
that's all people who are connected to me according to our Amazon's algorithm. Is what you're saying?
Well, that was based on your reading, so that's me.
Oh, right. So that's you.
Yeah, recommended for you in Prime has a lot of mostly female um, psychological thrillers, I'd say. I know where they are. Yes, one, two, three, four, five of them. 4 of them are Amazon original stories. Whether that means that I think they're Amazon commission.
Oh, they sort of went into publishing, didn't they, Amazon? I've not heard anything
Yes.
of that in a long time.
What are they called? They do have their. I think LJ Ross went with them. Got 5 in the total. Can't remember. Oh, I've frozen now. Oh no.
Well, oh, you're back.
Oh yeah. Yes, it's getting very warm in here. So yes, my fan's kicking in. Anyway, thank you, David.
It's absolute pleasure.
I'm going to stop record while we still have both of us.
It was very interesting to revisit an old book.
Good. Yes, well, anytime. We'll do a session per book, so you keep me going for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'm publishing round about 2 a year. That's my batting average.
Wow.
So I'm slightly less than 2 a year, but then I've got 3 books on the go at the moment.
Is that all?
No,
five or 6 at last time.
5 or 6, but I wrote a piece of paper and I must bring these books out before it's
okay. Righto. Great.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, this one has great reviews and I do look forward to it. It will now be on my Kindle because I've just bought it. Right. So I look forward to
a Kindle is very appropriate to read it on, I think.
Exactly.
Probably should read it on your phone, to be honest.
Yes, I should. Yeah, sadly the Kindle app doesn't. This is a Kindle Fire which has text to speech, but I don't think the app. I could probably download an iPhone app that will read it to me.
Yes.
To investigate. But yes.
Oh, there's one final little story about iPhone. Mm-hmm. It's way back because I started off when it was CreateSpace. So if you were getting all the copies, they were printed in America and flown over the Atlantic, which is completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
A whole box of my books, iPhone, arrived in customs, and they read iPhone. I thought,
the box of iPhone.
To pay for the technology import. I had a very interesting conversation with them where they say, you've got to pay this customs charge. And I went, they're books.
Yeah.
They went, yeah, but you still have to pay it. And I went, no, books. And it took quite a while to get through that.
They couldn't open them up and see that they were books.
Yeah, yeah. So this direct copy might have been trapped in customs.
It might have been. That's another story.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you.
Pleasure.
We'll see you soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.